Michael is the Academic Engagement Manager for Microsoft Ireland. So at another stage, I'll give you a little overview of our participation in DIT in this competition over the years. I've loads of fantastic photographs up on Facebook from all the great experiences that students have had competing in this competition last year. So last year I mentored the team, and Dr. Michael Collins over there mentored the team in 4th year. They won the best phone app in the Imagine Cup Irish finals, and the team that I mentored came second in the Irish competition. Fantastic project that made use of the Kinect to do 3D body scans. And in previous years, a DIT team came first in Ireland, and you know, when you win these competitions, Microsoft pays all your expenses to go to the worldwide finals. That year it was on in Poland. So those of you that are my students here, in other words, the DT228 and DT211 students, you can participate in this competition and you get academic credit for it. So in other words, if you do this competition, you could do this as your assignments for my subject. Alright? So I would really strongly encourage you to consider it. Having something like this on your CV, literally, you know, when companies look at it, it just makes you jump out from everybody else who isn't doing this kind of extracurricular stuff. Alright? So anyway, give Michael a big DIT welcome.
Thanks guys, Brian, thanks for the welcome, and Michael. So the Imagine Cup has been an interesting journey for Microsoft. It's been running now for 10 years, and during that time Ireland has been really, really lucky. We've had great success in it. I think Brian was probably the first person to actually come back from the World Finals in Korea, but actually winning a category, and that was around web design at the time. And I think they came third. But we've been trying to chase that cup for a long time, and in 2009 in New York, the team from IT Sligo actually won the Imagine Cup. So out of 350,000 teams, they were now #1 in the world. And actually last week, the guy who was behind that, James McNamara, just launched his company based off that idea called Clever Miles. So it can show you that you can take a concept, go and compete against everybody in the world, come out triumphant, and actually go and build up, you know, a great business out of it. And again, he's a struggling startup, but he's opened so many different doors to him and stuff like that. So my hope is that, again, whatever you guys get involved in the Imagine Cup, this opens up doors for you, it opens up opportunities, it gives you a platform for your ideas to come to life. So Imagine Cup, most of you have known this as a kind of social entrepreneurship competition, and last year that's what it was. The winners of the Imagine Cup last year came from NUI Maynooth, and again we've got Marie there, Donald and Cosy, and their idea was a very simple idea. It was a Windows Phone and a Windows 8 application which was around digitizing effectively a medical journal for MS. Marie was diagnosed with MS last year, and the guy said, listen, is there something that we could do? And one day they saw her actually writing on one of these journals, and she had to fill out one of these journals every month. They'd take all those journals, bring them to her consultant, and her consultant has to effectively decipher from those journals within 15 minutes, you know, how her life has been over that year. So what they decided to do was digitize that content, make it a little bit more kind of clever, was able to look at trends, be able to look at highlights, be able to look at, you know, different patterns of behavior, and they could present that data. Because when Marie gets to talk to her consultant, the consultant says, listen, you've got 15 minutes, I can't read all this. You never get to remember all those things. And everybody's kind of seen all these final year projects where it's been around medical records. These guys actually did it, and they actually worked with MS Ireland. They actually got some beta testers and put something together and actually created a really, truly rich app. And they're about to launch their app in the next couple of weeks. And I have a meeting set up with them with the Minister for Health, so you can actually replace the current journal system that's in there with the digitalized system. So they built it on Windows at the moment. They're building it to Android, and they're building it to iOS as well. And it's all based off a cloud backend. So whether you're a winner at the national finals, whether you're a winner at the global finals, even if you're not a winner, it's a great platform, it's a great opportunity to take your ideas forward. This year the theme of Imagine Cup completely changes and moves away from just being solely about social entrepreneurship, and actually comes up with 3 new categories as well. So this year we like to say every idea is welcome into Imagine Cup. So again, it's another great platform for you guys to bring your ideas together. One of my favourite things, and I actually don't say this lightly, is actually coming to the final year project showcase in DIT. I actually love that day because it's absolutely an amazing opportunity for you guys to actually show the world what you can do, and the world being the locality here in Dublin, but it's got bigger and bigger each year, and I think it's a credit to DIT and what they've done. If you think about a Magic Cup is that plus 100. You get to meet people from all over the world. You're able to engage with them and your ideas and meet new contacts. Maybe meet some people in different countries that have similar passions than you have. And maybe you never know, you might become the next, collaborative, global, next startup. So I'm going to see if this video works. No, the audio doesn't work. So I'll send on the link to it. This year the Magic Cup is going to be held in Russia, if you didn't already get that from the logo. It's going to be held in St. Petersburg. Like Brian was in Poland so many years ago, and I think the Eastern Europeans actually put on a fantastic show. I know that was my first Magic Cup, and it wasn't the glamorous of going to Korea or Japan or Brazil or Egypt or kind of, we're just going to Poland. But it's absolutely, I think it was probably the best Magic Cup that I had actually attended, and I think Russia is going to be brilliant as well. They're going to put on a very big splash for us. Last year we held it in Sydney, and Sydney was fantastic as well. Whenever you get to the host country, they roll out the red carpet, they show you great cultural experiences, they try and connect you together as well in really fun ways, and that week experience that you have in that location is absolutely awesome. So the competitions this year are broken into 3 main categories, and I'm actually going to run each of those 3 categories at an Irish finals. So World Citizenship pretty much looks at the Imagine Cup evolved. So it's again using technology to solve a social problem or do social good. The next bit then is around games. And again, I suppose DIT is probably one of the game epicenters in Ireland, and I'm expecting some amazing stuff from DIT in that light. Again, build a kick-ass game, whether it's on a phone, whether it's on a PC, whether it's on an Xbox. We want you again to bring your talents forward and hopefully use Magic Cup as a platform. And then innovation, and this is where you guys come up with an idea that's going to disrupt, current market that's out there. The guys did it last year in a way that they're disrupting what happened with the digitized journal for MS. But again, you take the guys from DIT last year, they looked at foot orthotics, and I don't know if any of you have ever had orthotics put in your feet. I'm one, so I love the idea. But you have to put your foot into it, a plaster of Paris. If you're an infant and you need to have a body orthotic, you have to remain in a still position or while that sets. These guys can actually scan whatever part of your body in a couple of seconds, very unintrusive but very accurate. And they were changing what ways things are doing and using technology in a really cool way. So innovation is a great category to put that into. So as you can see, any idea that you come with, you can slot that into a Magic Cup. So at the Irish finals this year, and I'll talk about the dates in a while, we'll have winners first, second and third of each of those categories. We'll take the top 6 teams from each of those categories as well to the Irish finals, and that's going to be held over 2 days. The first day will be held in Microsoft, where you'll do your presentations in front of people. There'll be questions from the judges, and then that night we'll probably hold a student party as we normally do. But I think what we're going to do is actually announce who the winners are in each of those categories. The next day we'll invite all those top 18 teams to the Aviva Stadium, where we're going to hold one of our developer conferences. And the theme around this is around gaming. And this is an opportunity for you guys to showcase your ideas to people out there that are in the industry today, and also create a platform for us to kind of build some PR momentum around your ideas. If you get to the finals, there's amazing prizes. They've doubled the top prizes. Again, it was $25,000. It's now $50,000 for the winners. For the Irish finals, we'll have some great prizes as well. Lenovo have come back in as a big sponsor again for us this year. Hopefully we'll have Nokia and a couple of others that we're working on at the moment. So we'll have a rich set of prizes for you guys to walk away with. And again, last year the guys walked away with some great prizes at a Magic Cup. So if you don't do the local finals, there are some challenges that are online as well. There's a Windows 8 app challenge, Windows Phone challenge, and a Windows Azure challenge. So if you want to do something that's not the big grandiose local finals, try and go in there and compete against the world. And again, Brian, that's how you would have competed the first year you were in Korea and actually got a team to the world final. So it does happen. So it's more difficult, but it does happen. Sorry, I need to actually tell you a little bit about this. So question is, who do we decide who goes to the World Finals? One team is going to go out of each of those categories to the finals. So on that second day that we're in the Aviva, we're going to get the top 3 teams that we announced the day before to actually do their pitches in front of the judges. And the judges will then effectively make a decision based off what they feel is the strongest concept of an idea that will represent Ireland at the global finals. The other 2 remaining teams will actually move on to the next round, which is online, so that gives them a second opportunity as well to actually get there within their category at the World Finals. So, the Irish local finals, some of the key dates. So, we've kicked off all our kind of sessions already. We've done it, again, reach out to all the universities. I'm starting the circuit here today. And also, we'll be having people who will be doing sessions around the country who are visiting universities. Sorry, guys. So, your ideas need to be submitted by the 1st of February.
You might want to just take these dates down, right?
I'm going to send this deck on afterwards anyway.
Yeah,
so
but just take them down, just so you can get it in your head when you need to be thinking about this.
So in each of those categories, we've got a competition captain. So Brian is competition captain for the games in Ireland. For global citizenship, we've got Tom Lysett from NUI Maynooth, and then we've got Martin Keynes who's doing innovation from NUI Galway. And their role is to actually pick who the 6 teams are that go through. So there'll be no bias, because Brian will have to get his DIT submissions reviewed by an external.
So I don't have any say in the judging.
Yeah, so he can become a mentor. But what he does is he manages the elements within that competition, he chooses the judges, and again, I suppose, supports some of the mechanisms behind that. So one of those mechanisms is the submission process. And Brian and the other 2 competitions captains will be actually meeting in the next while, and we are actually going to define what that criteria is. But really what we'll want you to have is a working piece of code at that point, so that we can actually run it. We want to have a fairly clear concept of what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do, and it's got strong viability in it. So it's great to have something that we can pick up and run, and even a short video that can actually talk us through the process. We'll announce the winners of those top 6 categories very, very quickly. We'll announce them on the 6th. So the top 18 finalists will actually be chosen. And then a couple of weeks later, you're into the Irish final. So that's when you're actually getting into showcase mode. So it's very important that you have your concept and your code and your design quite well advanced at that point, because it takes very little time for you to get from the point of submission to the point of presenting. So it's important that you get your story ready for the judges, because you'll have a 20-minute presentation based off the judging criteria, and then you'll have a product showcase. So we want to see, well, what does it do? How viable is the product? What research have you done against other markets, other products, ideas, and what makes yours so unique, and what's the value add that you've come up with? So we're also supporting some activities to get you there. So on the 9th to the 11th of November, we're doing a global hackathon for Windows 8. So this is an opportunity for you to come with your ideas and with your teams and actually get started with Windows 8. It's an all weekend hackathon session. We're going to have prizes run throughout the weekend on that. We're hosting it in Microsoft Ireland, so you're very welcome to attend that. It's open for all the Dublin students and startups to actually attend. We have a limit in terms of the amount of tickets that we have available. But again, it's a good opportunity for you to go with a concept, go with your team, and start seeing what you can actually get started over that weekend. We've got amazing speakers, guys who build Windows, guys who are behind some of the game studio pieces that are back in the States as well. We'll be doing live stream sessions all the way through the weekend. Saturday is a big idea for online learning sessions, and actually a lot of them are actually going to be based in Europe that weekend, so a lot of the sessions will happen during the day. We're running it in 4 locations: Queen's University Belfast, GMIT in Galway, and Limerick IT in Thurles, and then obviously Microsoft Ireland. So if you want, go to the WebSap site, the online Eventbrite registration is through there. You can pick your venue and then sign up. So best of luck. The next session is all open for questions. I really hope to see you in Dublin. I know I'm going to see you anyway for probably your final year projects at some stage. And I hope that we see a team out of here rushing. So, thanks guys.
chance to ask questions. Michael is here. I'm the team. I'm the competition captain for the games competition. I've also mentored 3 or 4 teams over the years. I've been a judge at the Worldwide Finals in New York, and Michael was a judge last year. I was a mentor last year for a team, so we know loads about this competition. So now's your chance to ask whatever questions you have.
You know, by February 1st, when you submit your idea, does that have to be a complete, fully complete by that stage? Is that what you're going to be?
No. So what you want to do is have a very strong prototype of what you're trying to do and where it's going.
Right.
I think that one of the key things is being able to kind of separate yourself on what you're doing that's really different,
Okay.
than anything else that's out there. You'll want something to run because you want something to demonstrate. But one of the reasons why I pull the timelines in, and normally we'd run the finals around April, is so that you guys can actually have a better run time between there and actually the worldwide finals.
Right.
So I know probably you guys are all fourth year, right?
Second year, mostly.
Second year. Okay. So you'll all have project submissions that are in around that time anyway. Would that be right?
They'll have a second assignment, which will be due around about that date. And anyone who's doing Imagine Cup is more or less exempt from the assignment which I set. So you can do either the thing that I set, or you can do this.
Yeah. So there you go. You've got work in motion that you'll have to have done. So, but again, you'd want to have something very like it's not at that point an idea. It has to be something that we can see. It has to be something tangible. It can't be smoke and mirrors.
Right, I get you, yeah. That's it, thanks.
So how many guys are, hands up who's into gaming? How many of those are doing app development?
A few guys have talked to me about very cool ideas for apps already, so actually some very nice ideas.
What do the rest of you guys do? But again, that's a huge amount for games there. But again, it's a great opportunity. I know Brian's had the opportunity to go around and see a lot of the games at the World Finals, and I know he takes specific time to go out and actually go through.
Yeah, I've loads of videos. I can show you ones from the Worldwide Finals from previous years, and I always take little videos on my phone going around and pick the top games in each of the categories, so I can show you those.
Brian gets kind of angry a little bit at the World Finals around the games, because he always kind of goes, we've got much better games.
We always have much better games than the ones at the Worldwide Finals. Yeah.
How do you go about learning video game programming?
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
Part of this course.
Yeah, no, that's very, very
Come to your lectures, come to your labs. So, I mean, there's a couple of guys here that were maybe repeating from last year. You might recall we spent 3 weeks coming up to Christmas last year giving a crash course in X and A. And that was because we did C++ as our primary language last year. This year we're using C# and the .NET stuff. So, I mean, if you can get your head around the OO stuff we're doing over the next few weeks, we'll do probably 3 to 4 weeks on making games using X and A, using the controller, using the Kinect, doing sprite-based stuff, you know, 2D gaming, coming up to Christmas time. And, you know, people that are not interested in games can do a non-games assignment. People that are interested in games can do a game as your assignment. And you can do this competition. And if you do well in this competition, you can continue to develop your game for the second semester assignment. So you can basically, I mean, I recommend people form teams to do this as well.
So minimum and maximum for names?
I think 3, I would think, yeah. It's not that, I think in the Imagine Cup, I actually need to check to see what the rules are. I think it's probably...
So we have, it's a maximum of 4, and then the 5th is a mentor.
Yeah.
A mentor can be a student or an academic, but the mentor has no role in the sense of putting the stuff together. Choose your mentor wisely, right? Mentor is probably one of the most important people that you'll ever have in your team, because you guys will go off in different tangents. The mentor really kind of pulls everything back and says, okay guys, what are you trying to achieve here? What are you trying to do? And they're that kind of external voice that can kind of set the parameters for you. And I know that teams who do well have a good mentor who can actually get you outside this idea of group thinking, because you will inevitably happen. And even the guys that we get to go to the World Finals, our biggest challenge for the first 3 weeks after the national finals is to say, okay, whatever you think you have right now, start trying to deconstruct that down a little bit, right? By breaking it into pillars. Break out your story a little bit more. Where is this going? So we'll try and take that group think out of it as well, and we'll bring in